Our newsroom is very young right now. So most of the people who work at WHYY are in their 20s and 30s in the newsroom. But I remember a few years ago, I went to our program director at the time and I said, look, all of the hosts you have are going towards 60. All the shows we have on our air have been there for decades. They're very popular shows, but we don't have anything that speaks to a younger audience. And I kind of got the eye roll and the, oh sure, whatever. You know, so, and I didn't pursue, I really wish I had pushed harder and I had come prepared with some numbers or I had done more research. I just had this idea and I thought, what if all the young people who work at WHYY right now create a show that speaks to a younger audience? But I wasn't very prepared for that conversation and I just got brushed off. And then a couple of years later, we got audience research that was absolutely devastating. You know, I always joke that we were so busy covering the demise of the newspaper industry that we didn't realize, you know, that we were sitting on the Titanic and we're like, oh, look at the newspapers. It's a terrible thing. Because people turned away from the radio in record numbers, not just young people, you know, everybody turned away from the radio. And we slept on all of that. So I really wish, in hindsight, we had gotten a head start. We didn't. So the Pulse was created not just to do health and science, but to really appeal to a younger audience. And we increased our audience. We measure in like 18 to 35, so not exactly millennial, but that's the age bracket we measure. We increased that audience in the first year by 10 times. So that's kind of how hungry people were for that content. It was just like, put it there and people will consume it. But yeah, I think sometimes you have to make that point more strongly and to say, look, we need to appeal to this audience.
I want to challenge that though, because in Philadelphia, what's like the one thing that people in their 20s notoriously are just so not interested in? That's like politics and what's going on. I mean, like across the board, everybody in this room is probably really well read on what's going on in Anthony Clark's office, or not going on in Anthony Clark's office. So, you know, but the fact is, most of my friends, I can't hold a political conversation with. You know, I don't hang out with all reporters. I'm not hanging out with people that are just like constantly civic, you know, on this like civic engagement lifestyle. So like, if you want to talk about what just appeals to younger people, I mean, you're really going to start limiting issues and limiting, like doing more of like, you know, and then other people will get mad, like your anecdote. I love that because it's like your audience obviously deeply cares about these issues if they're going to get mad at you and be like, you're better than clickbait. So I mean, I think it's really going to have to start doing like a kind of like figuring out, you know, what we want to keep and what we can make new. How do you package politics and make it anything other than what it is? Which
yeah.
It's actually a question for you. Do you think that that's something that's generationally unique? Because I know a lot of people in, say, my father's generation who don't give a shit about politics either.
Right.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, just looking at the numbers of who votes and who's interested and who's engaged, it's just in Philadelphia, at least, it's not there. And in you know, lower income communities especially, it's definitely not there. Disenfranchised communities, like they're just not feeling it. So like, that's a big thing that I think about as I cover politics, is like, how do I make this interesting to young communities? And I have like zero answers. And to be honest about our newsroom, you know, we're willing to throw any idea out there. Like, we're willing to talk about something like cereal. Like, what do we do to get people like engaged in that? Like, do you do like an online blog form stuff? I mean, I'm sure everybody, you know, whether they'll admit it or not, is like talking about taking any idea they can to make things viable and interesting to a broader audience.